Subject: Wrap-ups. Posted by Timothy Linehan to everyone. November 22nd, 11:01 a.m. Eastern. Did anyone notice that we don't get wrap-ups when Chris loses? Commish, are you a sore loser? Well, Timothy, I think sore loser isn't quite the right word for it. You may notice that when we started doing these videos, I was drinking PBR, having a good time, smashing beers, woo-woo, giving myself virtual high fives. And now I've moved on to this and this. Fantasy football has not been good to me. It really hasn't. I've been looking back and noticing some trends, and in the last, 5-6 years we've been doing this, I've been in the top 3 of points scored, like 4 times, 3 times. Last year in particular, I was second in points scored. I was like 26 less in the overall season, and finished with a 5-8 record and make the playoffs. So when I see things like Swag's post saying, basically, hey, this is kind of whack. This isn't right. Any consolation prize for being the leading scorer and not making the playoffs. This sucks. Take a look at our division. I'll cite to you a suggestion I made last year about changing the rules not to be so head-to-head focused. So you don't have a system where Clayton, for example, is 9-2-1, and has scored 157 points less than the overall leader, who is, by the way, in the same division and has a 5-7 record. But I digress. The real reason I haven't been doing wrap-ups is because I started off the year 4-0. And as soon as I started talking shit to everybody, I went into a 1-6 slide. So I figured, you know what? Maybe we'll shake things up a little bit and just shut the hell up for a little while. Just so happens I had a good week this last week. I beat Dickie Doos, but in typical fashion. World Marine was playing my arch nemesis in the division, Arsenal, who's been 1 game behind me for the last 6 weeks. It seems like he wins, I win. He loses, I lose. World Marine had a win with LaShawn or McCoy for is it LaShawn McCoy? He had a win because he hit 100 yards rushing exactly, gave him the extra point for the 10 yards plus the 3-point bonus. And Splay was actually winning for about 15 seconds until they snapped the next play. It was a running play just to kill the clock. Everybody knew it was going to McCoy. They tackled for a 1-yard loss. Instead of winning, World Marine lost, and Arsenal again stayed 1 game behind me with 2 games to go. Him and I are facing up in the last game of the season, which looks like it very well could decide the division and who goes to the playoffs. As much as I'd like to bitch and complain about how bad I have it, there are other people in this league who have it worse. And by that I mean the aforementioned Toenails, who lost a heartbreaker, 179-177. Played the High Point team again, and dropped his record to 5-7 in his division. 2 games behind the team he was just playing, the Morgan's Marauders. And it has him on the outside looking in as far as playoff teams go. He needs some help, basically, to get in. So, yeah, that's kind of where it is. I really don't have much to say. Just, I'm pretty sure that fantasy football may be the dumbest idea ever invented. It's like someone decided that normal gambling isn't soul-sucking enough, so they made it even worse by making you bet on something that you're not even going to find out if you've won or more likely lost for like another 15 weeks. It's like, hey, here's $50 that you're probably going to lose. But basically, I'm going to just kind of string you along and think you might be winning any minute. But in the end, we all know you're going to lose. And for that, you just wasted 15 weeks of your life. Why not just go down and bet on blackjack? Is it a reason to get together with the homies for draft day? Or is this why we do this? Anyway, I look at Spillane. His team is now the Oakland Raiders of the fantasy football world. I see that he is just a shell of the man he used to be. This is a man who was flying high. 2 wins, 2 championships early on in Dirty Sanchez history. And he has hit as cold a streak as you can hit in the last few years. Again, I'll say that drafting Vince Young in the 2nd round a couple years back was probably not going to help things, but he is a shell of a man. Yeah. It's I don't know why we do this. So to answer your question, Timmy, why haven't I posted? It's because I am drinking myself into a stupor. I am cursing my television every week and just praying for a quick death so that I don't have to deal with this stupid fantasy football season anymore. And with that, we'll see you in the playoffs. Or maybe not. Who knows? Who cares, really? Nobody's going to win. Nobody is. So I bid you adieu.